Hello everybody, welcome back to another video on the channel of Dave and Dave. Today I'm going to be talking about the Boeing 737 MAX. I'm going to be talking about if it's successful or if it's a failure so far. As we know, last year there were two horrific crashes involving a Ethiopian Airlines flight ET302 and also another one involving a Lion Air flight JT610. And we know there were very bad crashes, and they both crashed for the exact same reason of MCAS. MCAS, the Maneuvering Characteristics Augmentation System, was way too sensitive, and it caused loads of problems for Boeing. But we can't just blame it on one thing. There was many things that caused the crash, and it was a horrible tragedy. And the aircraft, as a result, was launched to service well before it should have. So that's one of the things that's very bad about the airline. That's classed as a failure. And another point about the 737 MAX, the reason why it potentially could be successful. Notice how I say the word potentially, because in the future, when the aircraft is recertified, this aircraft does have potential. The reason why it has potential is because of the fact that it's 20% fuel efficient compared to the Boeing 737-800 NG, and it also has potential in the future because of the fact that airlines have purchased this aircraft, and we all know that hopefully the airlines will regain Boeing's trust. This is because of the fact that these two crashes have caused massive disruption for the airlines, and when they do receive these aircraft, hopefully the airlines will then change their opinions about Boeing as a company. However, at the moment they're not, because of the fact that these crashes have caused so much chaos for airlines. Many airlines are having to lay off staff, they're having to make staff redundant, and this is all simply because of the Boeing 737 MAX. The reason why they've been made redundant, the staff, is because of the fact that this aircraft basically replaces some of their older aircraft, and it can also be potential growth for the future. And if the aircraft's not growing and the staff are not needed anymore, therefore their services will not obviously be needed, this means unfortunately they'll be fired as a result or get redundant. And this is a very, very awful thing for airlines. So not only is Boeing suffering, but also airlines are suffering. And another negative about the Boeing 737 MAX is the fact that in the future there is a potential that airlines will stop trusting Boeing and will go over to Airbus instead. However, at the moment things are looking slightly better for Boeing because of the new Boeing 777X, and this is good because the aircraft so far has been shown to be fantastic, and hopefully in the future the airlines will purchase this aircraft, as it did have a test flight the other day and that went superbly. So we're hoping at the moment that Boeing will start fixing things up, and we're hoping that those two crashes, we're really hoping that Boeing have understood these crashes have been because of their problem, and they hopefully in the future need to learn to not make this mistake again. Because if they make the mistake again, airlines will most definitely not trust Boeing, and they'll move over to Airbus or any other aircraft makers. So this will mean that Boeing, as a result, might end up failing if this happens again. And Boeing are at the moment trying to fix the 737 MAX. As you've been hearing recently about in the news, that Boeing did say that the 737 MAX will hopefully return to skies in mid-2020 or in the spring of 2020. So at the moment things are looking good because Boeing are making very good progress on things like fixing up software problems, and they're fixing up anything that's any type of problem in the aircraft, because Boeing simply cannot afford for another one of these crashes to happen again. And Boeing at the moment are suffering very bad reputation damage, which as a result could affect the future for Boeing. However, at the moment Boeing are trying to fix things up, trying to stitch things up, trying to make everything a lot better than what it used to be. And we all know that Boeing have, even though they have got a bad reputation, unfortunately, well not really unfortunately, because this is punishment for what happened to the crashes, Boeing are now losing $20 billion as a result of these 737 MAX incidents. And Boeing are now starting to realise that they need to start cracking down on getting this aircraft back in the air safely, and also the aircraft cannot be rushed back to service, otherwise another thing may happen again. MCAS, the Maneuvering Characteristics Augmentation System, was a massive issue for Boeing because of the fact that it was too sensitive. However, that's not the only reason. We can understand that Boeing are starting to fix things up, so Boeing's reputation in the future may improve. And definitely the 777X has given Boeing's reputation a lot better, making it a lot better. So at the moment things are looking pretty bad still for Boeing. They have lots of issues trying to pay off debt, and as a result, also in America, the economy is suffering quite a lot because of these 737 groundings, and airlines are just becoming not as much profitable as they used to be because of the 737 MAX. Many things are happening all around this one aircraft, and that is the huge problem I see for Boeing, because of this one aircraft, everything is suffering as a whole, and Boeing will be losing confidence as a result of this, and Boeing will hopefully understand that something needs to be done in the future in order to improve. At the moment, the Boeing CEO has obviously been changed. They used to have another CEO, and now they have a new one, and things are looking better ever since the CEO has left and the new one has arrived, and as a result, this Boeing may improve. So, at the moment, I do see Boeing fixing up the problems. The Boeing 737 MAX does have potential in the future, like I said, about the fuel efficiency. So that's the good thing that Boeing have that makes it attractive to airlines. However, the other problem that Boeing are facing is that the pilots may have to receive some simulation training. Now, I know this is good for safety. However, Boeing will appear less attractive to airlines, the customers, because simply of the fact that airlines thought because of MCAS the pilots will not need training for a different type rating. As you know, at the moment, the Boeing 737 MAX is on the same type rating as the 737-800, which I believe is bonkers, because the 737 MAX has literally just been out very recently, and the MCAS has only been out very recently too. So I think Boeing have made a massive mistake there putting it on the same type rating. And I feel like the whole aircraft has been rushed. So Boeing needs to take some time, and they need to improve the services that the aircraft has, and I do feel like it does have potential in the future. However, at the moment, they are experiencing lots of problems. As you can see, Boeing at the moment, with the obviously they recommended the training to airline pilots. This will mean that the airlines' costs will be higher, and as a result, will obviously make Boeing less attractive to them. So they may move over to Airbus in the future. And when they move over to Airbus, this will mean that Boeing will experience even more problems, and they will experience less profit. And Airbus will be, it should be, the champion over Boeing. However, Airbus are also experiencing problems as a result of these Boeing 737 MAX groundings, as they're not getting a lot of competition from Boeing at the moment. So Airbus do miss that kind of competition from Boeing, and Airbus do kind of miss Boeing's competition. So Airbus at the moment aren't actually gaining too much from these 737 MAX groundings, because the airlines are customers. Obviously, there's some airlines at the moment going bust, and because the airlines are going bust, this will mean that those airlines will not be able to purchase Airbus aircraft in the future. So Airbus do really want Boeing actually to be successful. They obviously Boeing's rival, but they want to be successful in order for them to also be successful, and they can both equally share the market. And that's what Airbus want, basically. They don't want Boeing to fail, but at the same time, they are still very big competitors to Boeing. Okay guys, so I hope you enjoyed today's video. I'm going to be doing a quick brief summary of the video. So Boeing, as a result, they've lost $20 billion of the Boeing 737 MAX groundings. At the moment, the 737 MAX has been grounded for about almost a year, and it could potentially be longer than the year before it's grounded. Many airlines are suffering as a result of the Boeing 737 MAX issues, and no one is really benefiting from these issues at the moment. MCAS was too sensitive. That's a massive failure for Boeing. MCAS was also rushed too quickly, and at the moment Boeing are experiencing reputation damage, massive reputation damage, and Airbus are also kind of suffering a little bit from these groundings. And yeah, I do believe that Boeing experienced a massive hit, especially in 2019 with the 737 MAX groundings, and I do think that in the future Boeing do have a lot of potential in order to rebuild their reputation, as at the moment they have the 777X in motion, and that's looking to be very good with the test flight. Okay guys, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace guys.